recent Pokemon Presents, they showed off some brand new footage, a brand new trailer for Pokemon Legends Arceus. We saw brand new locations, new towns, story beats, combat, new Pokemon types, and did you see the textures on those trees? Because I mean, we've gotten a much better look at this new Pokemon game. I really want to just talk about my thoughts on this new trailer, my thoughts on the game in general, and yeah, go from there, I guess. Oh, if you are new here, perhaps consider subscribing, because those who do become cool, and that's just how it works. That's the rules of YouTube. So thanks again for listening. Without further ado, let's talk about Pokemon. I remember on initial watching, a lot of people are immediately comparing this to like some sort of like a Breath of the Wild for Pokemon. But I feel like now that we've gotten a better look at the gameplay, it's not necessarily that, but it does take like ideas from it. It almost feels more like Monster Hunter Stories-esque. The trailer really primarily showcased these big, expansive areas that you can explore and all these environment shots, and they all look really beautiful. It's amazing to be able to see some massive environment that we're gonna be able to explore in the world of Pokemon and interact with all these lovable characters we've known for years now. This sounds amazing, right? And here's kind of my take on the open world part of it. I hope it's not big for just the sake of being big. Although it does seem like the world's relatively contained, it seems like smaller than we may expect. I don't expect it to be like as big as the world in Breath of the Wild, for example. I know we keep comparing it to that, but it's good. It's an easy reference point to talk back to. The gameplay here is focused on the tasks which the story contextualizes. You're going to be cataloging the world's first Pokedex. You are the first, essentially the first Pokemon trainer ever that's going to be going around the world and cataloging all the wild Pokemon. I think it's kind of cool that different Pokemon will interact differently with the player. Some are very friendly, come up right to you. Others will be like more scared of you and try to run away. Some are much more hostile and actually will start attacking the player. No, look, like seriously, you can actually get attacked. Imagine Nuzlocke's runs of Pokemon Arceus, but if your player character dies, so then you die. So that's it, you die and the game's over. I think this is going to be a very interesting balance of something we haven't really seen from a Pokemon game before. Almost in a weird way, it gives kind of Pokemon Snap vibes, where you can like interact with these Pokemon in their environments and then kind of like watch and observe how they act and what they do, but then also, of course, capture them. One of the things I was afraid of going into this game was like, is it going to be too big for the sake of just being big, right? Like, what are they going to put in this world for me to discover, explore? What kind of secrets, what kind of compelling rewards I'm going to be able to find by exploring the environment? And what looks like the primary gameplay loop here is finding Pokemon. I think the gameplay loop of this game is not going to be similar to previous Pokemon games, where, you know, there's a bunch of routes, and then each route has like a set of a certain amount of Pokemon that'll spawn, and you can catch them that way. While here, it more looks like the emphasis is on catching every single Pokemon in the game. And in order to like find more rare Pokemon or ones that are more hidden away, like maybe that's going to be the benefit of exploration. You're going to go into caves, maybe climb up mountainsides, and you'll find Pokemon that you couldn't find anywhere else in the entire open world. So that is what's going to encourage players to explore, to find secrets. The reward you'll get is new Pokemon. They show off some of the combat too, and the traditional battle system does return from Pokemon. But there is a very interesting twist here. It seems simple on the surface level. They introduced two new fighting styles for every single move your Pokemon can do in the game. There's Strong Style and Agile Style. Basically, depending on which style you choose will affect how many turns your Pokemon has and how much damage the move does. I honestly feel like this is going to make the combat seem significantly more dynamic than we might realize. You can use the Strong Style to do high damage, right? So you can grind XP, get out of battles more quickly. You know, when you're going through like a more dangerous area where you're running into more aggressive Pokemon, you can just get through those battles quickly. And on the flip side of it, there's the Agile Style that offers you the option to even do 2 turns per move, but the moves are going to do less damage, which could be intentional so you could prolong the fight so you can try to catch the Pokemon. I think this is going to be a great balance, because that was one of the things about previous Pokemon games, is I always felt like the random encounters and like running into Pokemon battles got really tedious after a while, because, you know, unlike other RPGs where battle options where that would be one hit and you could take them out and you could keep moving on, right? Pokemon just felt like it really dragged on a lot of times. I really think this introduction of Strong and Agile Style is going to make the combat feel a lot more fresh and manageable, where you can use Strong Style to get out of battle really quickly and move on, or you can be more strategic using Agile Style so you can use more moves per turn. There also looks to be a new crafting system being involved here at Pokemon Legends. It looks pretty rudimentary and simple. They don't focus on it too much in this trailer, and I think there's a reason for that, because I don't think it's going to be super in-depth or anything for that matter, but it's a good start. I think it's kind of cool that you're going to be able to craft your own Pokeballs and like make camp and stuff like that to rest up. It's an interesting mechanic to have layered on top of everything else that I think will very well suit this type of gameplay. But tying back to what I said before, it seems like the major gameplay loop of this game is like exploring the world and finding Pokemon. And I think that's like one of the best emphasis that a Pokemon game could take. Because really, like I've said many times before, the stars of the show in the Pokemon series are the Pokemon itself. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't care about the trainers. The humans of the Pokemon world, I could care less about. Sure, there's some fan favorite characters and trainers that have reoccurred throughout games, but at the end of the day, the stars of the show are the Pokemon. And I think this game has taken that into consideration when it comes to the primary gameplay loop of this game. While previous Pokemon games, it's like, you know, about leveling up your team, going through some sort of loosely tied together story, but more than anything, it's going through the gyms, fighting each of the gym battles, and making your way to the Elite Four or whatever that game's end game bosses are or whatever. Well, here anyways, at least in the trailer, they didn't show any trainer versus trainer battles. They only showed a couple of wild Pokemon battles where they inevitably caught the Pokemon. So at least from how they present it, it looks like the focus of this game, rather on just, you know, the battling and the leveling up of your team, it's more focused on the collection aspect of Pokemon. Filling out your Pokedex is the goal of this game, rather than like a side thing you can do alongside the main campaign of previous Pokemon games. And I think that's what excites me the most. It's a different way of looking at a Pokemon experience, but still retaining a lot of the familiar stuff we know about. Customizing your character, having a starter Pokemon. The traditional battle stuff does return with like turn-based combat with all the moves and stuff, but it does have some remixes here that'll help freshen it up a little bit. I've said before that when it comes to mainline Pokemon titles, I've kind of gotten burnt out. I've only played like a handful of them, honestly. But the same old, going to gyms, grinding your Pokemon for levels, going through random encounters, and I feel like what we've seen here is different enough to start to get me excited. This is not the Breath of the Wild of Pokemon. This isn't going to be some massive, expansive open world in that aspect. It's a much different take with more of an emphasis on collection and finding different Pokemon throughout the world and exploring for that sake. Like in Breath of the Wild, you explore to find treasure and new items and new materials and new weapons for that matter. While this game's focus, the reason you're going to explore is to find Pokemon you may have not found before. Like, that does make me a tad cautious, because like once you start filling out your Pokedex, a lot of the big, more open, common areas are going to be filled with Pokemon you already have, like Bidoof, Wurmple, etc. So I'm curious to see what other stuff they're going to add into the game to give value to those areas. Otherwise, what's going to be the point of going through there unless you're just trying to traverse to go to somewhere else, you know? Ooh, another thing too, I almost forgot to mention, the rideable Pokemon looks so cool. I know something similar was in Pokemon Sun and Moon, where you got like the ride Pokemon that basically were like your HMs in those games. And I love to see like the rideable Pokemon here are basically new ways to traverse the environment. There's one for land, for on water, and as well as gliding. It's pretty cool to see like different ways to explore and move about the environment. I hope to see even more rideable Pokemon help you throughout your adventure in this game. All in all, I will say after this showing, I'm definitely very intrigued. I'm like getting more excited. I'm still a little hesitant on some of the things I mentioned, like, you know, the world just like being frankly pretty empty. Like, what else are we going to be doing besides collecting Pokemon? What other objectives can we do while traversing the environment? Because like in other traditional open worlds, such as Breath of the Wild, whatever, there was Koroks to collect. There was like other collectibles such as like materials to craft with, weapon types. There was side quests you could stumble across. Like, what else is this world going to offer, this big expansive world, besides collecting Pokemon and watching them in the environment? That's something I'm looking forward to see, and if that problem is resolved, I think we're going to be in for a great time here with this game. And they even reconfirmed that, yes, it is coming out January 28th, 2022. And at first, I was very hesitant with that release date, because I was like, oh my gosh, is this game not ready? That game looks so rough when we first saw it. But it's looking much better now, and honestly, I feel like the trailer they initially showed off was way earlier in development than where they maybe actually were at the time of the trailer releasing. This game's looking great, and I'm looking forward to see what else is going to come from it, and how it turns out to play. But what are your thoughts on Pokemon Legends Arceus? What things have gotten you the most excited? Definitely let me know that in the comments below. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big awesome like. If you haven't already, definitely subscribe for tons more on Pokemon Legends. We'll definitely be playing this on like live stream, whatever. So definitely look forward to some more Pokemon stuff if you're interested. Anyways, guys, thanks again so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!